get to interview talented artists from around the world, and we get to know them on a personal basis. This is Diego Mondragon, back in studio in Murrieta, California. I had the opportunity to go to the NAMM show this month, and I met several talented artists. One of them is our guest today. I'm very excited because she is a magnificent singer. She's got a beautiful voice, and her songwriting is beautiful as well. Her name is Tralain. Tralain Roslyn is originally from San Diego, California. Her father was in the Navy and was from Brooklyn, New York, and her mother from Kittery, Maine. Her first memories in San Diego are living in military housing where she attended Rolando Park Elementary, then later Bobbier Elementary. Her first musical hero was Tina Turner. She remembers at age 5 seeing Tina light up the stage and again seeing her at the old drive-up movie theater in Oceanside. When she saw Tina Turner in the movie Mad Max as a beautiful warrior princess and realized she was the same beautiful voice she would sing along with on her red boombox radio, she was convinced that she was pure magic and wanted to be magical too. She grew up very shy, yet always had a lot of friends around her and would sing in private for them. Until one day in elementary school, she sang an en vogue song with her friends, and the teacher just stopped and stared when it was her turn. The teacher and her classmates were awestruck by her unbelievable voice, heartfelt emotions, and energy. As a shy, emotional girl, there were many emotional challenges at home. In order to manage these difficult times, she often went within and wrote poetry, as it soothed her and served as an escape. She didn't start putting her poems to music until many years later, when she left home and moved to the LA area in pursuit of an acting career. She was then able to do some work in the industry and met many celebrities, including but not limited to Miss Janet Jackson, Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Citizen Cope, Carl Stevenson, Craig P. Parker Adams, and others. Currently, she is excited to be in the process of releasing her acoustic EP, Tralain Unplugged. This is a raw version of just her guitar, and her stories. She feels blessed to have worked with Mr. Craig Parker Adams at Winslow Court Studios in LA. Okay, let's cut and do that last paragraph. Here we go. Currently, she is excited to be in the process of releasing her acoustic EP, Tralain Unplugged. This is a raw version of just her guitar, and her stories. She feels blessed to have worked with Mr. Craig Parker Adams at Winslow Court Studios in LA, who's an absolute pro. Currently, she will be performing with her band at this year's Del Mar Fair in San Diego. She also performs in the Inland Empire and all over San Diego County as a solo act and with a full band. Tralain, thank you so much for being here in my show. I really appreciate that. Just knowing you at the NAMM show for the first time, said I have to interview Tralain. And so thank you very much for coming to my show.
Well, thank you for having me. This is really nice. I love the layout. It's beautiful here.
Thank you. Well, many other people need to hear you and learn more about you, just like I did for the first time. And I think people are going to be very, very pleased and very happy to hear you play and get to know you a little better. So are you ready to start?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for it. Let's start from the beginning. I read your bio, and you're from San Diego, military family. Mm-hmm. And you grew up in military housing. Where specifically?
I was really little. I remember going to Rolando Park Elementary, and I remember our street, because we made a song out of it. It was called Thunderbird Lane, and I can't tell you like exactly where it was, just because it's kind of like my childhood memories. But I know we all moved out of military housing, and I went to Bobbier Elementary, and that was like Vista area.
Oh, Vista. Okay.
But the military housing area, it's like I only know it when I drive past it. It's kind of like that nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is where we were, but
okay.
I just know it was San Diego.
And you mentioned something about a little red boombox. Tell us about that.
My little red boombox. I begged my mom and dad give me this boombox because my brother had, in the, I think it was like the 80s or whatever, the big boomboxes on his shoulder. And I wanted a red one because I always was listening to music. And I got it one Christmas, and I just inseparable from my little red boombox.
Did it have a mic input?
No, I would just sing.
Oh, okay, because when I read your bio and you were saying you would sing along songs, I'm thinking, okay, she's got this beautiful little red boombox with a mic input, and you were singing.
I would have loved that, but yeah, just the boombox, and I would just sing it out.
So before you heard Tina and saw the movie, what other singers would you emulate?
I don't remember her name, but the one where she would say, let's hear it for the boys. Let's hear it for the boys. Let's hear it for my man. I want to say Minnie Rippleton, but I don't know if that's who is the singer for that song. I remember hearing that song and just being like pumped.
I remember that song.
Pumped up and loving it. Also, Shaka Khan. But Tina was the one that just like life-changing for me. Like hearing her, every time I heard her voice, I just would stop what I was doing and just listen to every word, and I would recognize it. And when I realized what her name was, it was kind of just more solidified, like she was my hero.
Why'd you like the name Tina?
I think because it was 2 T's and my name is a T.
Okay.
Tina Turner, it's like it was easy to remember, easy to say. I was really little.
I see. Now your last name is Roslyn, correct?
My actual last name is Hoffman. I go by Roslyn just because, for simplicity. Like I realized, like, well, when I get remarried one day, like I don't want it to have to be this whole shift. And Tina Turner had to fight for the rights to her name. Her original name was not Tina Turner, and when she got divorced from Ike, she had to go to court to protect that name because that was a foundation of her musical career, her legacy. So I always am kind of trying to think into the future, and I was thinking, well, I want my name to remain the same regardless,
I see. So Tina Turner is a real like hero for you, somebody that you know a lot about, right? And you heard her first when you were only 5 years old.
Yes.
Now, before that, were you already singing?
I don't think so, because I was only like 4 or 5 at the time. So that's kind of like my first memories are, picking strawberries in the backyard with my dad and, bugs. I grew out of that. I don't like bugs now, but I used to find little bugs and put them in my purse. And
then Tina Turner at age 5.
And then Tina Turner,
and that boom exploded into, I want to be a singer.
Right. Well, I don't think at that time I knew I wanted to be a singer. I just knew it brought me joy. I knew music was important to me, and it was always music playing in my room. As soon as I had that boom box, it was always on. I always had my radio on. Now,
reading in your bio, you said you were a very, very shy girl. So I imagine you weren't out singing much in school plays or things like that, right? Or
no, quite the opposite. I was very shy. It was hard to even speak to people.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I had people who've known me from way back will actually comment on it. I had a friend of mine come to one of my shows, I think last year, and she said, I didn't know. She's like, what happened? Because she remembered the shy Tralain, who was just kind of like super quiet and would be in the middle of everything and just observing.
Well, when I first saw you on stage, you don't look shy, but you have this very calm presence.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think maybe it's like a continuation of that shyness, but transformed into an artist who's able to keep her demeanor and able to perform as well, because you don't look nervous at all when you perform. And your voice is, it's impeccable. You didn't even warm up that day when you played at the NAMM, and I'm going, how is she able to come up with that beautiful voice? It's incredible.
Well, Yeah, I'm blessed because there's just been times where there was no time to warm up, and that's how the business is. Sometimes you just kind of have to, you have these opportunities, and you just have to show
You
up.
just go for it.
You show up and you give it your all because it might be your only chance to be in front of
Yeah.
that audience.
Well, we're skipping a whole lot, because I'm excited to hear you, and I know everyone is as well. However, tell us a little bit on your musical development. When did you? I know we talked about right, President, in your bio that you sang at school, and everybody was like, "What? She can sing?" And did you take lessons while in middle school, high school? Were you in the choir? How did you develop in your early life as a teenager and young adult?
Well, that's different though. I started writing poems at a very young age, but I really didn't make the connection between poetry and songs. So that wasn't really a musical thing. It was
Okay,
more
so
like
first you
rhythm of
started with your
words.
poems. I see.
Expression. I believe the singing started around sixth grade. I was kind of, it was difficult times for me. I was just kind of like taking a lot in. We had moved, and I was going through a transition of just being young also. So I would sing when nobody was around. Like I would go on jogs and I would find a really secluded area and I would just sing my heart out. I would sing Whitney Houston too. I'd have to say Whitney Houston. I would just sing my heart out, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner songs, and Vogue. I didn't have any formal training. I always wanted to, but it just wasn't something that was provided for me. I don't know if we could really afford things like that. So my training was me belting and singing my heart out like in the forest or at a park, just any place where I could be alone and not have an audience hear me.
I see. So you were quite shy. You didn't
I
want
was
anybody to hear.
super shy, yeah.
On the other side of the coin, you share that there were some difficult times at home when you were young, and that's why you started writing poetry. You I don't know if you I think you said you would you lock yourself in the room and just write poetry. It was a way to soothe what was going around you, and then being shy, there was not a whole lot of expression. So writing was one, but then you had this other physical need to fill your lungs and just express your feelings, and it sounds there was a cry for expression that you didn't have at home, perhaps.
Yes, no, exactly. There was a lot of tension in my house when I was younger, and my dad worked a lot. He had to travel, and then so my mom had her hands busy with us. They did the very best
How many
they
of
could.
you were there?
It was me and my brother, but there wasn't a lot of communication, and when things were bad, it kind of would go from 0 to 1,000, and there was a lot of times no resolution. And I think when you're a kid and that happens, it can be very troublesome when you kind of feel like these things are happening and there's really no justice within the house to rectify them. So my music was a huge outlet for that.
Was it throughout your let's say your age from youth, elementary school age to teenage in high school, or when did that occur?
Probably when I got to high school, it was better because I had some freedom over my time, and I joined every club, I played every sport, I entered every contest I could, and so I stayed really super busy, and I was extremely into my academics as well because it was an escape, an outlet, and it was like, oh, I can control this, I'm no longer kind of just this little kid. And that is when I started doing things like the national anthem. I did join the choir.
Okay.
I did join choir, so I did get a little bit of training from the teacher there for choir, however, it's like a class full of, probably like 50, at least 50 kids. It was huge.
You didn't get a lot of individual time.
There was no individual time. Unless I got that solo for the show, which I did get the solo sometimes, and I would get some training from him that way.
Okay. So usually when kids find, join every club at school is to get out of the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
And spend as much time away.
Get me out of here. Yeah.
So let's do this because I want the audience not to tune out. I want them to hear you. So why don't you play a song for us right now? And we would love to hear that, wouldn't you? Of course.
Of course. Yes.
So what are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to sing one of my original songs that I wrote. This one is called Nightlight.
Nightlight. Is there anything behind that?
Well, it's interesting because Nightlight was never really meant to see the light of day. I wrote that song. It was a selfish song. It was a lullaby to myself. I was kind of in my... I was already playing shows, and we were recording, my band and I, we were in the process of recording my first album. And so I would play this song. They kept hearing me play this melody on my guitar. And my bass player goes, what's that? And I go, nothing, it's nothing. And then he goes, you should play that at the record release. And so they literally pushed me out on the stage at the record release party. They all abandoned me, and they pushed me to play that song, and everyone loved it.
Oh, wow.
People still to this day, like, of all my songs, that's probably one of the top two that people, they say it resonates with them, they love it. But yeah, it was kind of like a message to myself that you're not by yourself. Like, you're not alone ever, and to just have faith in that.
Okay, can't wait to hear it.
Oh, cool.
Here with you is Tralain.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here at Tell Me Your Story, and I'm going to play a song for you that I wrote. This one is called Nightlight. Every night I fall into my dream. Monsters chase and push me to extreme, pulling me, fighting it back and forth. I won't let them win this time. I'm in charge. There's a fever in my heart. Been there from the start. I lost my way back there in the dark. You could be my nightlight. You could be my nightlight. Eyes wide open, I see everything. It's passing me slowly, I'm stuck in between. Can't find my way out, it's impossible. These cards, they were dealt, it's too late to fold. 'Cause there's a fever in my heart. Been there from the start. I lost my way back there in the dark. You could be my nightlight, be my light, be my light. You could be my nightlight, be my light. Oh, you could be my nightlight.
Love the song, Tralain. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're going to sing another original
Yes.
at some point, okay?
Yes.
All right, so now I think people would like to really learn about, how you became a professional singer. And so why don't you share with us how that happened?
Well, it was pretty serendipitous because at the time I found myself as a single mom, and I was working several jobs, as we do. I was bartending in most particular, and music just kept on finding me. So every time I tried to go away from music, I would meet somebody pull me back in. I did skip on my timeline a little bit. I did move out to LA, and that was a very important part in my story, was that move, because
you wanted to be an actress.
I did.
Okay.
I was going to be a big actress, and the people that I met were always in the music industry. And I mean, I would be at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and I would meet somebody, just it kept happening. So I ended up working with Jan Jackson, and I met Wendell S. Green, who became my manager.
Yeah.
And he's the one that pushed me to start playing my guitar and to write my own music and turn the poems into songs.
Yeah.
So that was a huge, huge part in me becoming a professional
That was a great influence in you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. But then I read that he passed away shortly afterwards.
He did.
Oh,
We had big plans. We met with Madonna had a record label called Maverick Records, and we met with them, and they presented me with a development deal, which didn't happen. And there were all these cool things happening, but he did influence me hugely, and I was just super sad when he passed away. It was too soon.
What a shame.
Yeah.
But he was the one that pushed you to keep writing your own songs, play the guitar. Did you play the guitar before then, or was that something new?
No, I would just sing, and I did still only sing for a while because it took me a while to get my confidence up to even play the guitar in front of people. I knew I could sing at that point. And I got some work session singing. I would session sing for DreamWorks and made a decent living that way. But it took me a little while to be confident enough to play guitar, and especially to play guitar and sing.
Do you think that your shyness was a stumbling block or a reason why you weren't picked up right away, or were there other reasons why you didn't get the record deal or whatever? What have you?
That's a really good question. I never thought about that, but it very well could have been, because I would I would freeze up in front of people, and that affects your vocal cords for sure too. And possibly, but I also feel like everything,
the image,
Yeah.
They want people that are bubbly and funny and just talking and
and I think I would kind of wait. I had really cool things to say, but I would wait, to say it. And now, you can't get me to shut up now. I love talking. Still kind of to myself.
Okay,
but
stop right there.
Sorry.
No, well, you speak fine, and I think your rhythm is perfect, and whatever you're saying right now, with everything that you're saying is just beautiful. So,
thank you.
So no worries at all. I mean, we all evolve as people, as artists, and then in front of the audience, that really helps. But I interrupted. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's natural, yeah.
So then you had this wonderful manager who passed away, and really pushed you to be yourself and to kind of come out of your shell, right?
Yeah.
And be you, present, who you are as an artist. And so what happened after that?
After that, I kind of was singing in a band, like a cover band, which Wendell was like, I don't want you in a cover band. He didn't want me to get into that circuit because he was worried that I would lose my singer-songwriter identity, and
I
which
see.
I didn't. I did both, and I worked to put together my own band eventually, which that's a whole nother story because, as you know, the industry is male dominated.
Oh,
So there's a whole nother like side of who you have to show up as a
There
female
is.
lead who's commanding like a band.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that was another learning block that I had to go through, and kind of made me really more confident. It made me more assertive, and it did help with that shyness. Like, she's
Good.
still here. She's still, I still kind of get giggly and silly and quiet, but I'm not afraid to speak my truth anymore the way that I used to be.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. And I understand that part. When I started this channel, it was male after male after male,
Yeah.
singer, performer, and I'm trying to get more women and females. And thank God, for you and a few others
Right.
that I've been able to get. But that's really, now it's kind of a goal for me.
That's
I
cool.
want to have more female artists and singers and performers on my show, because I do see that there's a huge difference. It's kind of guys have a step up, and women, it's a lot harder to get into the industry and
Yeah.
to get that recognition. So
Yeah.
so thank you for coming to my channel. I really want to help you and others, and there you go. I mean, comment, because I really, and if you have other artists that you'd like me to interview, let me know. Anyways, okay, so why don't we have you play another song at this point?
Awesome.
Would you like to?
I would love to.
Okay. What about a cover? Any favorite artist or anything you're feeling right now that you'd like to sing?
It changes, but right now I'm really vibing with Amy Winehouse,
Okay, cool.
the late great Amy, and the song that I've been resonating with is Valerie. So I would like to sing
Valerie.
that for you.
Love that song. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. Here's Tralain singing Valerie.
This next song is by Amy Winehouse. It's called Valerie. Oh, oh. Well, sometimes I go out by myself. I look out across the water and I think of all the things. Wonder what you do when I paint a picture in my head. Since I've been home, my body's a mess. I miss your hair, I miss how you dress. Come on over, don't make a fool out of me. Come on over, Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Oh, did you have to go to jail? Put your house for sale, baby. Hope you got a good lawyer. Hope you didn't pay that fine. It was dodging all the time. Are you busy? You shopping at anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you dizzy? Hope you didn't catch no tan. I hope you found a right man, 'cause he could fix it for you. Since I've been home, my body's been a mess. Miss your hair, I miss the way that you dress. Come on over, don't sometimes I go by myself and I look out across the water. I think of all the things, wonder what to do and paint a picture in my head. Since I've been home, my body's been a mess. I miss your hair, I miss how you dress. Won't you come on, yeah. Don't make a fool out of me. Valerie, Valerie, oh, Valerie, Valerie, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Thank you.
You know, Tralain, I just started learning about Amy Winehouse. You're not going to believe this.
Really?
But, yeah.
It's okay.
I know.
At least you're doing it.
My daughter told me about her a long time ago, but I didn't really listen to who she was. And then in Puerto Vallarta, there's another wonderful singer, and she does the Amy Winehouse show.
Oh my gosh!
And
wow.
I would love to have you come to Puerto Vallarta.
I would love to.
There are
to
several
Puerto Vallarta.
venues that are, I mean, they're top notch.
Wow.
And
yeah.
so I'll tell you more about those. But,
yes, please.
But thank you for singing that song. It's beautiful. And you sing it so soulful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we talk about where are you now in your musical career? And where do you see yourself in, 5-10 years?
Well, things are going really amazing right now. I have to say, I am so thankful. I've been having the most amazing opportunities. I met you at the NAMM show. It was my first time going, and I got to perform. So, that was amazing. I'm in the process of writing. I'm doing an acoustic EP right now, which is just invigorating, and I love the process of writing, recording, and then you see the final product, and it's just such a great experience. So I'm doing that.
So tell us a little bit more about that EP. How many songs? Are they all yours? I understand that it's just you, your guitar, and your stories and your singing. So tell us a little bit more and how that process came about.
Well, a little tumultuous. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Because I was trying. This was supposed to happen, I think last year, but I kept hitting roadblocks because the people involved, something would happen or the schedules would conflict, and I just really was just ready to go. So I'm so fortunate to know Craig Parker Adams. If you haven't heard of him, he's phenomenal. He's recorded so many people I can't even begin to mention. But
Producer?
He's a producer. He's a sound engineer, and actually the first studio I ever recorded at was Winslow Court Studios. That was his studio in Hollywood.
You can say hi to him if you'd
like.
Hi,
Craig.
Hopefully he will see this
Winslow
video.
Court Studios. Little plug right there. This is a friend of mine for 20 plus years. And we were having a conversation, and I was just expressing, I have these songs. I have so many songs. And
How many songs do you have?
Oh gosh, easily 20, easy. And because I just write, it's I just constantly am writing, and I'll play the songs at my shows, and the people will say, "That's a great song. Where can we get it?" And I'm like, You can't. Sorry, it's not. You got it right there. I hope you enjoyed that. But,
well, at the NAMM show, I heard you at the singer-songwriter stage.
Yeah.
And so I was very, very impressed with your writing abilities and your singing, your presence, everything.
Thank you.
I said, I have to have her in my show.
I'm so glad. This is such a cool experience.
So I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
So how many songs in your EP?
The EP has 6 songs, and 3 of them are rewrites of the previous CD. because my first album was full band. I mean, there's like all these instruments in there, but I play a lot of duo and solo shows. And so I wanted something that people can take away that represents what they heard. So if you're hearing me play a solo show and then I sell you a song, or you want to hear what you saw, that's what this EP is gonna be. It's very raw. There's 2 brand new songs on there that pretty much nobody has heard. So I'm excited about that. And just everything just kind of shaved away, just me, and I'm playing guitar on it. There's no fancy bells or whistles. It's just like just Tralain unplugged.
Tralain Unplugged. I love the sound of that. So when is it going to come out?
That is planned to come out we're in June, right? July, which is next month. Oh my gosh.
It's around the corner.
Oh my gosh.
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you going to have like a release party or anything like that?
I thought about it. I
You
might.
should.
Should
Always
I?
good, of course.
I'm like, are you guys going to go?
Of course.
Okay.
Especially now that they're hearing this.
Yeah, comment if you want to go to the party. But yeah, I had this big record release party at my first album drops, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I probably will.
So this will be your second?
Yes.
Okay. How cool
It's
is
like
that?
my baby.
Awesome. Well, congratulations with that.
Thank you.
You seem to be very proud of that. I'm very pleased with the outcome.
I am.
Okay, good. So tell us one or two things that in your career you've thought, wow, this is just an amazing experience for me, that you want to share with the audience.
Well, wow, there's been so many of them. Of course, I'm going to reach to like the most recent, which was NAMM.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was amazing because I met so many amazing people. I met you there. I met Taylor Guitars treated me like gold. Like that was.
You're playing a Taylor?
I play a Taylor guitar, and I am so loyal. So I was like, we have to go to the Taylor section, and they just welcomed me with open arms. That was amazing.
Are they sponsoring you, or are they interested?
I hope so.
Okay.
There's been like little talks, so.
Well, they would be at a loss if they don't
I hope
pick you
so.
up.
I would be so happy. But yeah, that I played the opening day for the Del Mar Fair, and the stage was humongous. And that
Is the Del Mar Fair going on right now?
It is.
Okay,
It is. We're gonna play again, I think the 1st of July. But we did opening day.
Oh, cool.
And that was just so cool to just.
Yeah.
Because when I was a little girl, I remember going to the Del Mar Fair and looking up at that stage. And to be
and now
on
you're
it.
on the stage.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was just. It was a
What were
feeling
you
I
feeling?
can't describe. I can't. It wasn't nervous. It wasn't anxiety, but it was like. I can't describe it. It was like my stomach was just like so like.
Can I take a stab at it?
Yes.
Fulfillment.
Yes.
You're just full of love and just this accomplishment.
Yes.
Well, how wonderful is that?
Like you could not take the smile off my face that entire day. Just ear to ear, just grinning and just full of just light.
My mom would say, when she felt like that, she would say, "Me siento como una alcachofa." And an alcachofa is an artichoke, but she used to cook them in a pot, steamed, and it opens up.
Oh.
So the actual, you know how it's typically just this ball.
I've tried cooking artichokes. So I'm gonna have to get the recipe.
Okay.
Like, I've had the hardest
I
time
love to
with
cook.
them.
I'll let you know after the show. But yeah, she said I feel like an artichoke, so because it's so open and plump. I just had that vision.
I did feel like an artichoke. That's perfect. Yes, just full of life and just like I'm here. Like all of these trials and tribulations, all the hard times, all the good times, it's like this is one of those moments.
That's beautiful.
And you can tell, you know it when they're happening, and it was like this is one of those moments.
Well, I'm so happy for you, and I'm very, very pleased that you came today and that you shared some of your story. I know you're a lot more than this, these few minutes that you spent here, but I think that people get a little closer glimpse of who you really are, and you're really a beautiful soul, and you've gone through a lot when you were a child. I mean, we could have gotten into that much more, but I know that maybe there's some touchy subjects to get into. But you know what it caused is this young lady who found refuge in poetry and expression, and that's such a wonderful way of dealing with life's problems. And now it's become something positive in your life, something good, something that you've blossomed into an artichoke. I was going to say flower. But since we were talking about that, it's healthier anyways.
Yes, they're healthy and tasty too.
Tasty. Well, why don't you play another song for us, would you? And what about an original? And if you don't mind, one of the things that I do with guest artists is I've never heard their songs, but I just jump in and play along and improvise. Is that okay with you?
Oh, I would love that. I absolutely love that.
Thank you. Cool.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do for us?
This next one is called La Noche, and I wrote this song. I don't really exactly know when. I think a couple years back. And yeah, so it's called At Night. And oh, you know what? Actually, this song is very special. This would be the perfect song for you to join in with, because this is when I was at that stage when I was bartending, and I was playing shows and I was bartending, and it was like there was a point where the shows were very obviously making me much more money, and it was kind of like pulling me. I was gravitating towards that life, and the bartending was kind of like, you gotta go do this, and there was no real passion in it for me. And so I wrote this song on a bunch of receipts, on the back of receipts. I was working at a winery as a server, and my oldest fans, my very OG fans remember this time, because they will come to my shows and request this song. And it's very nostalgic, because I was in that transitional phase where it's like, oh my gosh, I took all of my money that I got from my taxes and I bought a really nice guitar and a speaker, and I never turned back. I said, I'm gonna make this music work.
Awesome. Well, what a cool story.
Yeah.
So I'm privileged to play with you, and so let's create some magic together.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Tralain and La Noche.
This next song is really special to me. It was the song that was the first one that transitioned me into playing professionally and performing my own music while singing and playing guitar. This one is called La Noche, or At Night. She wakes up, puts on her makeup. It's 10:30, but she's been up. 'Cause that's when all the thoughts that come back down, when the people don't come around, and she drinks all to herself. Yeah. Waking up, she putting on that makeup. Oh, it's still, but she's been up. That's when all the thoughts that come back down, and people don't come around. She drinks to herself. and it feels like it's alright, alright, and it feels like it's all night, and it feels like it's alright, alright, as you feel. Oh, oh. She said, I don't think that I could live like this anymore. My mom and daddy taught me different times, sure. But when she opens the door, they're coming all around, saying, hey girl, don't you need some help now? She said, no, I got this, but she don't. And it feels like it's alright, alright. And it feels like it's all night, all night. She feels like it's alright, alright, as you feel. When the phone rings at night. That was awesome.
Tralain, I loved that song. Thank you so much
Thank
for letting
you.
me play with you. It was so cool.
Yeah, you're very intuitive too. Like
Well,
you just flowed right in there.
Maybe next time we'll record it.
I will.
you and
Yes, we have to.
Then I can
please.
really hone in on it and
Yes.
and do things that you'd like me to do on it.
Yes, that would be
Okay.
amazing.
So cool. So, any last thing that you want to tell the audience or other young female artists out there? A message, whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Just always remember to you have to be your biggest fan, and I mean that like with sincerity, because you have people that are there for you and support of you, but you have to believe that you're special within yourself. And I know that's hard, especially for females right now. There's so much pressure. You're supposed to look perfect, sound perfect, be this size, but you are perfect, and your best product is just you and the beauty of that. So I would just like to leave that message with for all the girls that are musicians and are just want to make it big. Just believe it, and actually see it in your head, because it's possible.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that and sharing about your story. So Tralain, can you share with the audience about your social media, where they can find you, and also hopefully you'll post where you're going to have that release party for your EP.
I so will, especially since that idea happened right here. So you'll be the first to know.
Awesome.
My social medias, I'm super active on my social medias, so please message me. And I'm on Instagram. It's my name, which is Tralain, TRALAIN _official. And I'm also on Spotify. You can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music. You can even add my music to your story on Instagram and all that fun stuff. I have a website. It's tralain.com. And yeah, stay in touch with me. I'm always playing live, and I'll be releasing my EP soon. So stay in touch with me.
Tralain, thank you so much again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it so much.
Thank you.
This is Tralain. I'm Diego Mondragon. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.